tonight's show, we have film director Antoine Allen. And now for your host, Koolkard. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Kickin It with Koolkard show, episode 197. Last week on 196, I had Jasmine Ayana back on the show. I think it was like her third time back on the show. She's a motivational speaker, ordained minister. She is a mentor to a lot of young ladies. So she's doing a lot of great things in the community is what she's doing. And we're just talking about faith. We're talking about just motivating people and inspiring people and encouraging people. So you make sure you go check out that episode. She's a phenomenal woman. She's doing great things in the community. She's doing God's work, y'all. So that episode is streaming right now on the channel. 196, y'all. We racking them up. About to hit 200 tonight. I have a film director. He goes by the name of Antoine Allen. Antoine Allen Films. If you've seen, listen, he has some movies on Tubi, Amazon, All Black. The brother is doing some great things. He is doing some great things. You might have seen Driving Force, Lola, Lola 2. He's about to have a trilogy of Lola. It's just, listen, man, I'm gonna let him explain everything to you and tell you about his journey, because it has been a journey. Self-made, self-taught, self-paid, inspiration. This is what we're here for. I do this for you. Can't do it without you. Let's bring him right on in and let's get this show going. Antoine, welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you for having me. Great intro. I love it.
Yes, indeed. Gotta represent you right, man. Before I didn't mention this to you prior to the show. I should have. I like to do that because everybody's faith is not the same. But I like to pray before every conversation. Are you okay with that?
No problem.
Let's get it. Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, we just thank you for this moment. We thank you for this time. We just thank you for Antoine making himself available to come on here and just shed a light on his journey. Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, his aspiration. I pray and ask that he can just uplift some people. He can inspire people. He can encourage them. Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, I pray and ask that we have an eloquent conversation, Lord Jesus. And I pray and ask that you just lift us up and guide us. We just thank you for life, love, happiness, and just all the little things, Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus. We give you all the victory, all the glory, all the love, all the praise. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen, my brother. Thank you for coming on the show. It's always a blessing. Episode 197, man. I've been doing this for 4 years, and it's people like you that make this happen for me, you know, and it's not even for me. If you make this happen for the people who I do this for, you know, I started this show, just wanted to elevate people, you know, bring them some value, bring them some knowledge. Saw a lot of people lost on Instagram, lost in social media, just trying to be somebody, you know, figure things out for themselves, and people taking advantage of them, doing these master classes and all that. And there's so much free information out here if they can just talk to somebody like yourself, you know. Got a lot of people out here that want to do what you're doing, and you're doing it at a high level. So I'm glad you're here. I just like a transparent conversation. I don't ask personal questions, none of that, unless you want to expound on that. But I do like to humanize a conversation. I do like to do that. Kind of want to hear your backstory a little bit, kind of see where you came from, to figure out, you know, so we can just see how you got to where you're going, to where you are now, and where you're going. You know what I'm saying? So I do know Jamaica, Queens. You said I think you had like a rough upbringing, and you self-made. You taught yourself how to make films, how to write films, how to direct films. Like, that is, man, that's an inspiration. Can you just speak to that?
I'm happy you said that people be online faking people. I had a friend. He was been watching a lot of my interviews. He said, "Yo, Antoine, I paid $500 for a master class, and they ain't teach me anything. I watched one interview on you, and you teach me so much." Because at the end of the day, information is free. I'm not gonna charge you $500, $600 for information you get free. But time is money. So My name, like I said, my name is Antoine Allen, born in South Side Jamaica, Queens. Had a very humble beginning. Was homeless. Got molested when I was younger. Didn't know what love was. Didn't have the best parents. So I turned my pain into purpose. We can't decide how we start, but we could decide how we end. So I took all that pain, broken family home, and realized, okay, I was born this way, and I'm not the reason why I'm the way I am. It's the people around me that was broken and toxic,
Right.
and I reprogrammed myself. We upgrade our clothes, our phones, our cell phones. We don't upgrade our mind. And once I got past that and really touched myself with faith and really knowing it's a higher power and really knowing just because you grew up in this environment, you don't have to be a victim. And I took my power back and I decided I wanted more out of life.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's so inspiring. And there's so many people that are dealing with the same, things that you've dealt with. I mean, we all have our story, we all have our struggles, but just to know that you have the power to finish the story. You know what I'm saying? As a child, you may not have the power to write that story at that moment because you're being taken care of, you're being reared, you're depending on your parents and people around you. But you can't let that define you once you're old enough and you know better. Now you have the power. Pick up that pencil and finish that story how you want it to be finished, how you want to continue on. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
Jacinth, she was on a show and she was talking about that, like just teaching younger kids at an early age that hey, you do have the power to write your story. You know, in so many ways than one. You know what I mean? You just have that power. So I'm really glad you're speaking to that. So how did you like was did you have okay, let me ask you this because I know I've know several people who've been molested and things of that nature, and they said that they just had to take their mind to a different place to kind of escape that, and it was of the arts. Was that something that you experienced? Like, did you have this like colorful mind, colorful imagination to kind of take you out of your environment, take you out of your situation, or how was it for you?
for me, I realized I had two options: going to jail or go being dead. That's the environment I was around.
Okay.
It wasn't nobody teaching me. It wasn't you on YouTube. I was born '81, so it wasn't really no options. But the only option was I used to call them virtual mentors.
Okay.
So it was people that I look up to that I could have reached. So I look at them by far, like Master P, like
Okay.
Jay-Z, like 50 Cent, like Tyler Perry. They all had my upbringing, but they made it out. So I
Yes.
said, okay, how can I make it out? I didn't know I played basketball. That wasn't me.
Okay.
Um, I realized I was a visionary. I could do things like Puffy, for example, Sean Combs. I used to look up to him, and I used to Puffy's not really a producer. He don't make beats,
Right.
but he can hear the sounds and he know how to put things together. That was me. So once I tapped into that, I got into the music business. At the time, my friend was signing artists, and he said, "Anson, come to the studio." And I was looking at the contracts. Now I'm a D student, special ed student. They having proper contracts. So back then, the artists they would sign a contract, sign their life away, and they didn't know how to read the contracts. So I went to the library, helped them with the contracts. I said, "Wow, this is amazing." I had nobody in my family that went to college, that went to film school, so this is a God gift. I was doing things inside of me that I didn't know I had. So I always tell people we all have gifts inside of us. We just have to unlock it.
Right.
So not having a family that was in the arts or nothing, I just fell into the business. And if someone told me I'd be doing it 20 years ago, I would have laughed in their face. So God got a great sense of humor. And I always say, if you want to find something that you want to do, fall in love with it. And I fall in love with the arts, and it's the best decision I ever made.
Wow. So it's like so you like just teaching yourself is kind of like what you do because you could have
Yeah,
been like a contract lawyer, and you you know what I
yeah,
mean, like you went in there and you're teaching yourself about these contracts and schooling them. That's just crazy. So
yeah.
you go ahead.
No, I was just saying that if I was doing filmmaking, I'd probably be a therapist.
Okay, got
Yeah,
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So people always came to you for advice, to talk through their issues and stuff like that. You can get to the root of the problem.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because one thing that I have a gift for, I tell everybody, a lot of people that's in jail or get in trouble. A lot of times it's your emotions. Don't let your
Absolutely.
emotions control you. Control your emotions,
Absolutely.
and that and
Absolutely.
that saved me a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. How you felt in that moment is not how you gonna feel the next day. But you just threw your whole life away. Threw somebody else, and
Yeah,
probably killed somebody and threw your life away for a moment.
yeah,
A fleeting emotion, a fleeting feeling that you weren't gonna feel the next day. You know?
yeah,
Emotional intelligence, man.
yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. And it's easier said, because of some people's upbringing. Some people don't have the examples earlier on, some people just didn't get that mentor, get around that environment that they needed to be around to kind of shape their emotions and shape themselves and their mindset. It just happened too soon. So yeah, it's unfortunate, man. But you being in the music business as a manager, because I think you were a manager, right? Manager for a while.
Yeah.
What did you learn in there that made you say, well, what did you? Okay, what were your takeaways from that? How did that shape you into who you are now as a filmmaker? And what about that business made you want to shift into movie making and say, you know what, that's not for me anymore?
When you're managing artists from the inner city and you're broken too, but you're doing the work on yourself, you're babysitting. A lot of artists are getting locked up, going to jail, getting in trouble. So if you're the manager, if that artist decide that he don't want to work no more, he don't want to come to the studio, your career stops.
Yeah.
And it kept happening time and time over again. And I said to myself, I'm bigger than this. So I started doing music videos, started directing music videos, and that was going great. But once again, it was limited because most of the artists were talking about shooting and girls and everything.
Right.
So the reason why I wasn't fulfilled, I was doing things. I said I feel stuck, and I didn't want to quit. So you have two options: you either quit or reinvent yourself. I decided to reinvent myself and got into the film business. And once I wrote and produced and directed my first short film, I submitted to festivals. I won some awards, and that was it. I said, okay, now I could be the artist. I'm not going to jail. I'm not getting up late. And when I learned from the music business and the film business is hurry up and get good enough and wait. People will wait for the opportunity.
Mm,
In the music business, if a record label say they don't want to sign your artist, okay, we make our own label. We the Master P's, we the Cash Money, we the Jay Z. We don't wait for nobody.
great.
So I took that hustle and brought it in the film industry, and that's why I've been so successful. I don't have to wait for nobody. I'm a strong believer of building your own table because the food tastes better, and you don't have to wait for a seat.
Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. That's definitely my motto. I was long story short, I was doing this show with someone else as my cameraman. I was going to award shows, stuff like that, clubs, whatever, right? Lost my cameraman, just went ghost on me, and then I was like, you know what? I can't wait around on anybody. I got to keep it going. I jumped into like doing tech review for a while on YouTube because I love gadgets, tech and all that, but it just wasn't fulfilling. I need that human interaction. It's what I do. And like yourself in college, I was the go-to guy for advice. So I love just pouring into people and helping people and just seeing them flourish, and things of that nature. So I was like, man, I gotta figure that out. So it took me like a year to like create this show, honestly, because I just didn't really know what I wanted to do. But then I started seeing that social media stuff, man, and just people just lost, but they want something. They want something. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't know what they need to know to get going. You could use YouTube, you could use Google, but then you're confused because there's so many different people saying different things, so you're confused, right? So it kind of stifles you. So that here we go. This is where I'm at. So yeah, man, I agree. You definitely just gotta do you. Don't wait on anybody, and just keep it pushing. I'm a one man show right now, but like we were talking before the show, you know, whatever. But yeah, definitely, man. So let's talk about your show, your first film. It was what, Split Decision, right? It was a short film.
Yeah, it was a short film, Lola. I did a short film version, wrote it, produced it, paid for it, all that stuff, and it was a major experience. It also taught me that just because you have people around you that act like they for you, they could be against you. I had a partner that was working with me. I thought everything was fine on that project, and he was my editor and partner. I didn't like the way he edited once the film was over,
Mm.
So he got mad and deleted the whole movie, but then
Wow.
lied to me and told me he lied to me and told me that it was a hard drive, but he didn't know at the time I was dating his sister,
Uh-huh.
so she was pillow talking, and she told me the real reason why it got deleted, and I was really mad, really upset, and the evil side came out of me, and I went to my camera guy and said, "Do you have the footage? Do you have a copy?" He said, "Antoine, no, I gave it y'all everything." And like a few months went past, and I couldn't tell my partner what his sister told me
Yeah.
because he's not supposed to know we were dating.
Right, right,
So
right.
one day I went to his house. I was on my way to his house, and I was gonna go there to do damage. God had a better plan for me. I was 5 minutes from his house. The camera guy called me and told me, "Hey, Anthony, you're not gonna believe this. I got 85% of the footage. If he did not call me, we would not be sitting here right now." So
Brother,
sometimes
I
things
understand.
happen. Yeah, man.
I understand. Trust, man. The business is dirty. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. And I know how you were feeling. You ready
Yeah.
to just like, hey, F it all.
Southside Jamaica Queens was coming out.
Right. Right. You ready to be like, you know what? God forgive me and whatever happens, happens. But they got it coming. I get it. Trust me.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man. So now you told me about, let's talk about what you told me prior to the show. We're not gonna talk particulars, but talk to me about when you released Lola. You said you released the first Lola during COVID, right?
yeah.
And it
So
took
COVID,
off for you.
yeah, yeah. COVID was a gift and a curse. Um, I had a premiere in New York City for Lola One, and it was the day they shot. It was the day they shut New York down. So
Wow.
we didn't know where it was. Things was happening. I had a premiere prior to knowing what's going on. Lola One, I was gonna put it in movie theaters, have a big release and everything. All that went to trash because it's COVID now. Things happening. So I was like, wow, what I'm gonna do with this movie? I had a movie that was completed, looked great, but had nowhere to go. Um, I submitted. So the film festivals all got canceled, and they wound up doing it online. So I got into this big film festival called ABFF, American Black Film Festival. So I got into the festival, did really well, got a lot of press, a lot of reviews, and I was looking for distribution. Every network I sent to said no. Part of it because it was COVID. The other part was I didn't have no big names in it.
Right.
But I did, to me, had a big name was Taja V. Simpson. She's a co-star on the Tyler Perry's TV show on BT, The Oval. So I thought
Right.
that was enough, but it just wasn't enough because the business they want to have more talent. So I was looking for different companies, different companies. It was nothing happening until my lawyer put me onto this company called Homestead Entertainment.
Mm.
Shout out to Rob and Dennis Reed. Um, and they put my film on Tubi, and within 3 4 months, I made pretty much all my budget back over Tubi. Tubi's a great platform. At the time, I didn't know what Tubi was,
Right.
but Tubi's a great platform because one, it's a free platform. You don't have to sign up. When you do have content on there, they give you like around 50% of the ad revenue. Um, they pay you way more than Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime, you get pennies. Um, and if you promote and put a nice marketing campaign people watch, you will have a great return. A lot, not a lot, but some people are making a lot of money on Tubi. And I shout out to Dennis Reed, Rob, and Homestead Entertainment who put me on.
Wow. It's crazy you said Homestead because I've had a couple people on here who've, distributed their films through Homestead, Tubi, and stuff like that, and they said it was did it very well. So
Yeah,
Homestead
very
must
well.
Homestead must know what they're doing over there. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely do. Because it's hard to find distribution company and filmmakers making money. Most filmmakers, when they sign a distribution company, they're not making no money. So I know a handful of filmmakers that making money. So Homestead and Dennis Reed out there is a great company to be a part of.
That's dope. And you're still rocking with Homestead? So whatever you put out, do you use them?
Not all my projects. I have other projects with different companies, so I work around different companies.
Okay.
When I did Lola 2, I released Lola 2. I did Lola too during COVID.
Okay.
I'm type 2 diabetic. And I got really, really sick during COVID, almost died.
Oh
And I
wow.
said, if I got this hospital, I think I sent you a picture of me before and after. I was really big.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like 300 pounds, and I just was getting sick. I was eating a lot, and I said, if I got this hospital, I'm going to do Lola too. I got the hospital. I went to Atlanta and shot Lola too.
Wow. So you were almost 300 pounds during COVID when you got sick. You lost all that weight.
No, so let me rewind. When I did Lola one, I
Mm-hmm.
was really big. I was just eating, eating, eating. Was take care of myself. And I had to stop production for Lola One because I was really sick, and I was almost 200 pounds. I got back together, got my stuff together, and I went back and shoot Lola One.
Okay, got it, got it, got it.
Yeah, yeah,
Now, real quick, I'm gonna play the trailer for Lola 2, and then I want you to come back and kind of give us a overview of the story of Lola and all the people that that you're working with. Because I know you said first Lola 1 they weren't fooling with you because you didn't have a lot of names, but I know Lola 2 you kind of piled the names up on there a little bit
yep.
for us. So
I packed the house.
yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, so let's run this trailer, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about Lola 2. Let's get
Yep.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
There we go. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Strong survive. So give us a rundown of who's in Lola 2, and then just kind of give us an overview of Lola 1 and how it trickles over into Lola 2.
Yeah, Lola 2 got Roy Jones, legendary boxer. Got the number one women's boxer in the world, Carissa Shields. Got Tamala Jones, Elise Neal, hip hop artist Dream Doll. Um, that's pretty much it. If I'm forgetting anybody, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's a great film. Lola One and Two is the first ever women's boxing franchise. It's
Okay.
starring Taja V. Simpson. It's a story about redemption, trials, tribulations. In part one, Lola got sexually assaulted. She got raped, and she wound up taking her power back. She do this through boxing. And through Lola One, we see the journey of her taking her power back and not being a victim no more. In part two, we see Lola being a woman. She wound up being married, having a child, and realizing, especially when you have a career, you cut in between your family life and business life. But eventually, a person can't change you. You're going to be the warrior that you become. And when you see her blossom, just a credible, beautiful human being. And I'm excited for everybody to watch it. You can watch it now on All Black Network, streaming to Amazon Prime.
Okay. Great, great, great. And I definitely gotta check Lola 2 out. I have access to well you told me you got me on the Lola 2.
I
So
got you.
definitely do
I
that.
got
But
you.
I'm definitely gonna go check out Lola on Tubi because like I said, I had it in my notes. I've been traveling, I had it in my notes to check that out. I also wanted to watch something else that Lester was in, he was telling me about. Cause
Driving Force.
yeah, no, I've seen Driving Force. It was some it's
Okay.
a series that he's in, I think Street Legal or something like that. Something like
Street
that.
Legal, yeah, Street Legal, Dentistry, great series.
Yeah, 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 definitely. So I'm gonna check that out. So I got you, man. I had it in my thing because Lester's gonna promote you to death. So he told me all about
Hmm.
you forever. So definitely,
Yeah,
man.
Les is a
Oh,
great, Les is a great talent, man. Great talent.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, man. And a good dude too. Very good dude.
Yep.
Connecting everybody. So let's double back real quick because I heard you say that you basically jumped into the film business. You taught yourself, right? And then you use what, like your 401k to
So, yeah, so a lot of people, when they get into this business, they feel like they don't need a job. They're gonna do the poor stuff without their car. That's not me. I
nah.
like my vacations. I like going away. I like having money. That's not me. So what I did was I did the strategic way. I work at a regular job. I'm in a union making decent money. Um, I use my 401k. I take out loans. I take out credit cards to fund my career because it's hard to get a loan at the bank to fund a whole thing. So I use credit cards, use my credit score to fund my career. 'Cause I could always pay it back every month because I was working.
Right.
So those are things people don't think about. You
Exactly.
could, like I said, if you're working a regular job, take a loan out, take money out of your life insurance. You're
Right.
gonna die regardless. Take the money out and you take it against you. You use different things to help you fund your project because At the end of the day, back in the day, like back in the day before social media and internet, talent was just enough. Now being talent by yourself, it just doesn't work. You can't be a one trick pony. So if I step in a meeting and you going in with just your talent, and I'm going in with all this IP, intellectual property, all the projects I did, an investor gonna invest in me more because I put the work in. So that's how I got started. I used what I had. Because if it's all got no money, a lot of us don't got no money, but we find money for clothes, vacations,
Yes.
girls, men. So it's money there. We can find money. It's just that how bad you want it.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad you're speaking to that, brother. Because I listen. I've talked about that several times on this show. That starving artist stuff is for the birds. How are you
Yeah, not
going
for me,
to
brother.
fund your dreams broke on somebody's couch?
Yeah.
How?
Back in the day, yes. Back in the day, maybe that worked, but now,
Nah.
no.
Yeah.
Uh, I like getting my hair done, getting my shave. No, sorry.
Right. Like I said, man, you still gotta have some type of quality of life. Especially if you're a grown man, you're a grown woman, you got a family or whatever you have, man. You gotta have some type of quality of life. But that doesn't mean you have to give up on your dreams. Like you said, you gotta think outside the box and figure out how to fund it. There's ways to do it.
Yeah,
You just gotta have that willpower and just figure it out, man. You can't say I can't or I don't know. It's just how can I? That's the question. How can I? And the universe is gonna figure it out as long as you're willing to try to figure it out. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Bake some cookies, sell some T-shirts. You
yes,
know, the main thing is being uncomfortable, and that's what it is. I had
absolutely,
to learn to be uncomfortable, and once I realized comfortability is a killer.
yes,
Um, a lot of people nowadays is not where they at because of what the environment. It's because of the person in the mirror. Because I know people that were going through a lot worse and they made it here. So it's all
yep,
about how bad you want it. Yeah.
yep, absolutely, man,
And don't
absolutely.
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. This shit's hard. This is an emotional roller coaster. But unless you got no arms and no legs and no fingers, it's a chance for you.
Yeah,
I even see people with no legs playing basketball. So
I'm
you,
seeing
you, you gotta really,
that's real though.
you gotta, yeah. So yeah.
That's real, absolutely, man. Um, Talk to the people who think that they need film school, think that they need to take a class, a writing class, and not to say that's a bad thing to do. It's a traditional way, right? But you taught yourself. What did it take for you to teach yourself and kind of understand, like, okay, I'm teaching myself the right way, or I mean, it's really no right or wrong way. It's like you learn, you grow as you go, honestly. But can you tell us a little bit about that process and where your mind was to say, you know what, I'm gonna do all of this myself. I'm gonna figure out all of this by myself and not wait on anybody, like you were saying earlier.
So my advantage I have on most people is I'm not coming in as an artist.
Okay,
I'm coming as a business person. When you come as an artist, you want to be taught, you want to be led.
right.
Maybe if I had money, I would went to film school, but I didn't have the money. So I went to YouTube. I went to trial and error. I looked at how Master P did all his films, how Damon Dash from Rockefeller did all his films,
Yeah.
how Tyler Perry did his plays. So I think more business. I have a big advantage of a lot of people because when I go to LA or those places and they be working on one project, um, for me, it's sometimes hard for me to comprehend, but then I get it. If I didn't come from the film business, I'd be like everybody else, waiting for someone to validate me. I come from an environment that you got to validate yourself. So I was born in that culture. So that mindset was basically, okay, a film is just like a t-shirt, a hat, a fool is a product. Produce a product and sell it. Simple. I keep everything simple. I
Yeah.
don't overthink things. My motto, if I feel it, I do it. Most people overthink things, and that's why they're not where they're at. And I get it. So I try to help people like, listen, you creating a nightmare in your head. I know cats that's in Rikers Island right now doing TikTok videos and dancing. They gave up their freedom. They having fun in jail. We are free and we are trapped in our mind, creating a nightmare. It's not even real.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of this is psychological. A lot of it's psychology. So it's basically reprogramming and letting go. Like go on YouTube, pull up people in jail doing TikTok and music videos. They give up their freedom. They're having fun. They're having a ball. They don't care. You got to have that mindset out. You got to have that mindset out here. You got to just be free because, like, you know what helped me too? Watching true crime stories.
Watch
Like, this
what?
sounds a little crazy, but true crime stories,
Okay.
like serial killers or the Jeffrey Dahmers, those guys are they out of here.
Yeah,
They killing people. We are free, and we are afraid to make a short film.
you're right.
You gotta look at the psychologically. Like we are like we have to stop that. There's a lot of what is a lot of noise in our head, and it's gotta be silent, be peaceful. This is an amazing video. I want you to watch. It's on YouTube. Steve Harvey. It's called Jump. If you go
Mm.
on YouTube, put in Steve Harvey Jump. He articulate so well going after your dreams. You gotta watch it. Like it really helped me. Because sometimes we be in our own head, and then let people know. I used to be the same way. I used to overthink things.
Yep.
And then I had to realize, Anton, what is wrong with you? You 35 years old. You 38. It's nothing stopping you.
Right.
And I had to get out of my own head. So a lot of times we create our own nightmare and it's not there.
No, you're absolutely right, man. And I know it, I know the video you're talking about because it was a time in my life where I was working a 9 to 5 and I had an opportunity to go and do something freelance that would free me up to, I still could make my money and then still do what I want to do, right? And I saw that video and I was just like, man, yeah, yeah, God's speaking to me right now. So yeah, I encourage anybody to watch that. It is a very inspiring video, and like you said, he articulates it very well. It's like you gotta jump at some point. You gonna start soaring. You gotta jump. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, yeah, man. Your story is great, brother, and you're doing great things. Let me. Oh, I wanted to ask you, driving force, right? Driving force. Little girl gets hit by a car, so on and so. Is Did you pull from experience on that movie, or what inspired you to
Um,
that film?
that was a short film that me and Lester did together.
Okay,
Lester back in the day used to be a bus driver.
okay,
And he said, Antoine, I want to do a film with bus driving. So I came up with this story and we did a short film. Short film did really well. I was pitching it for the feature. Everybody rejected me. I said, once again, let me just produce myself. So me and Lester came together, put our resources together, produced a film. It did very well, very emotional. All this stuff is my imagination. Sometimes I see a story and it might influence me. But a lot of it is my imagination. Like I
okay.
come from a hood environment, but my films doesn't reflect that because I believe that we're more than that.
Yeah.
You got boxing films, you got faith-based films. I got a Christmas movie about to come out.
Okay.
So Driving Force is just a strong film, and it's one of my strongest films because every time somebody watches it, they're crying, they get emotional. I cried when I was watching it. Lester Green and Jacinth Hedlund, they acting is impeccable. Like every time I watch it, I cry. So definitely, you guys need to watch that on Tubi TV.
Yeah. Yeah. I second that motion. Definitely watch Driving Force. I have to watch Lola. Lola too. Pretty sure that's great, man. Your production is great, brother. I'm just gonna tell
Thank
you,
you.
like, it's very top quality, great writing, great direction. All of it is really good. I told Lester that when I saw Driving Force and I spoke to him and I interviewed him. Actually, I was just telling him like, man, Antoine's production is great, acting is great, everything's well put together. So yeah, definitely loving your
Yeah,
production work, man.
thank you. We shot that in Atlanta in 9 days.
Wow, wow.
Yeah,
Listen, you out here shooting like Tyler Perry, man.
yeah,
Tyler Perry
yeah,
do a
yeah,
whole series in a week.
yeah, man. You gotta do it.
Yeah, got to put it in, man. But you're driving the ship too, so do what you want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, figure it out,
yeah.
man. So you said your films reflect diversity of human life, right? Speak to that a little bit. Like what tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I try to do films that show us in a different light. Driving Force is about faith. You know, and that film it teaches you about forgiveness. A lot of times when things get done to us, we quick to want maybe get revenge or get karma, and each his own. But forgiveness is powerful because sometimes that forgiveness could save you and save another life.
Yeah.
Lola too. Lola, the character, she got sexually assaulted. She got raped. And instead of her being a victim, she took her power back through boxing. She owned her life and she moved on. She moved past. Not a lot of people can move on. I got molested. Um, I know a lot of men that got molested, and it's hard for them to really move forward, especially at an older age. They're having kids and everything.
Right.
I moved past it. I realized that at that moment, I was around a peasant, and a peasant took advantage of a little boy. So I got past. I realized not my fault. He's a peasant. He's
Yeah.
beneath me.
Yeah.
So I moved on. So my films reflect human lives in a higher being. I don't really do the other type of films because that's just not me. But all my films, you're gonna learn something. You're gonna be entertained, and you're gonna be like, wow, this kid from Southside Jamaica, Queens, could have been in jail, could have been dead, but I chose to better myself. I chose not to give up my freedom. I'm doing
Yeah.
TikTok videos in jail.
No, I'm really glad that you're opening up and talking about that because
Yeah,
I'm learning more and more that there are so many people who have been molested, man. Like
yeah,
it's crazy. Like what's going on? Like it's so many people I'm running into to say, yeah, I was molested. I'm like, wow. So
yeah. A lot of people don't talk about it, especially men. Like, a lot of celebrities have been molested. Um, uh, Gary Union, she got raped inside a store.
yep.
Tyler Perry, Monique. It's a few people because especially in this industry, you gotta watch out. There's a lot of weirdos in this industry. When
Yes.
you look at the Bill Cosby, the R. Kelly's, yeah, it's a lot of sick people out here. So you gotta protect yourself. You gotta protect your kids, especially the kids. I watched this powerful film a couple weeks ago called Sound of Freedom
Mm-hmm.
about sex trafficking. Man, it's a powerful film.
Where,
But
where
I
can
don't
I?
have it's in the movie theaters right now called Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great film. But yeah, it's just a lot of people going through pain and trauma. So, and a lot of people walking around with untreated trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned this. If I come to you with love and respect, and you give me the opposite, something's wrong with you. You need help. You need to talk to somebody.
Absolutely. Because how can you face love and respect with animosity, hatred, anger, evil? Like that's just not how the world works. You know what I mean? That's not
Yeah,
how God works. So definitely, if they're off, then you already know it's like it's all about you. You're going through something, and you just have to remove yourself.
yeah,
What it is, man.
yeah.
Definitely. So what's up next for you? You said you were working on a movie. You got a faith based movie coming out.
Yeah, I have a Christmas movie coming out. Be
You said
next year.
Christmas.
Uh, yeah, Christmas.
Christmas. Okay, got you.
Yeah, yeah. Me and Vincent we came together with our production company, and we did this film called Love for the Holidays.
Yes.
It's starring Malik Yobert. It's starring Trina, the hip hop artist. Terrell Hicks. She played Keisha and Belly, and she
Yeah.
was in Bronx Tale. It got Jeremy Meek,
Yep.
the Billiken brother model with the blue eyes,
Yeah.
and Jacint, she's a writer, she's the star of it. We came together and knocked it out.
Yeah. No.
So
Yeah.
that'll be out next year. Yeah,
Yeah. She was talking about that when I had her on the show. So it's like, yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, man. When is that coming out?
it'll be probably next year Christmas.
Next year, Christmas. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, that's another thing when I work with artists, I encourage them to do their own project. So I did it with Lester. We came together, we did Driving Force. Same thing with Jacint. We came together, we did her film Love After. So, as an artist, you might not get cast for that role you want, but you can star on your own role. You can write your own starring role because, like, I'm not an actor, but it's a lot to be having a casting directors saying no and no over. Like, you get rejection so many times. I'm producing my own films. I can't go to that. That's too much.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely, man. I'm definitely gonna. We'll talk. We'll talk. 'Cause you were asking me about earlier. I do got ideas. So, like I said, not now for me, but I definitely could. Definitely want to talk to you, man. So we can come together for sure.
yeah,
So
man.
go ahead.
No, I say, yeah, man. Like, I'm big on like, I look at a lot of talented actors. They so talented, but they will never get the lead role or get a role because they're waiting for a casting director. They're waiting for me. Produce your own project. All that money you spending, produce it. Like it doesn't. Back in the day, it was really hard. Now, you have no excuse.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah,
really is. It really is easy. It really is. All you have to do is just go. And like, I mean, you're a prime example, brother. You taught yourself. So there's no excuse. Oh, I don't know how to write. I don't know how to direct. Who cares? Just do it. Right?
yeah. Just start it. Like, just start the fire. Start the baby steps. Now, the hardest thing is betting on yourself and fear. That's the hardest thing because you can psych yourself out of a beautiful opportunity. So a lot of times, you really need to bet on yourself and realize you are enough. Yes, this world makes you feel like you ain't nothing, but you are enough. Because when you look at the billionaires jumping off buildings because the stock market went down, if you just waited till Wednesday, it wouldn't run back up, but you already killed yourself. so so you gotta realize you gotta realize you enough. You gotta realize because I see all those like people millionaires committing suicide
Yeah.
because of they lost money. I never had money. So
Right.
that's why I said it's all this is it's psychological, man. It's a battle. It's a mental warfare.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's crazy. And I've been there. We've all been there, man. We all had to overcome it. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe it could be where you come from, what you've gone through, self-esteem, you're not feeling enough. But like I said, there's enough examples out here, and you have to be, you have to grow wiser as you get older, but there are enough examples to basically learn to teach you how to reshape yourself, to shape your mind, man. And know
Yeah,
that you can,
yeah.
know
Like
that you are enough. Like you said, know that you are enough, know that you can be who you want to be. Period.
one
Just
of my one of my biggest influence is Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
mm-hmm.
This man been blackballed, been attempted murder, killed his parents, and look at him now. He should be a case study
Yeah.
of what he accomplished, the stuff that he went through. He should have survived. He should even be here. But when you have a higher power looking over you and you very determined, you decide that just because that's my past, it won't be my future. It's like I use him sometimes as my like if I'm feeling down, I'm like, I didn't get shot 9 times. I didn't try to get murdered. Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, it's not that bad. So
Right.
you not comparing, but it's a good reflection showing that if he could get through it, if Tyler Perry, I remember Tyler Perry won the Oprah show, and he talked about he got molested, and he said, this is Tyler Perry words. He said on the Oprah show, he didn't know it was bad because it felt good.
Wow.
That's deep. That's deep.
Wow.
So you look at Monique. Monique, amazing comedian, amazing actress. Her brother molested her, was
Really?
trying to pimp her out. Yeah, like look up those stories.
That's
So they went through a lot of trauma to get where they at. So that's why I said it's definitely possible. Definitely possible.
absolutely, man. I'm glad you came on here and you opened up about that because a lot of people need to hear that. A lot of people, more than
Yeah,
people know, they need to hear it. And though they may never tell you standing next to you that they need to hear it, they need to hear it. So that's what matters. And that's why
yeah,
I love transparent conversations. Like I said, I don't get personal, but if you open up, man, it does such a good thing out into the universe for people that need to hear the human side of things. I bring you on here because of what you do, but we also want to know who you are, where you come from, what you've been through. If you're willing to open up about it, man, it's just a beautiful thing. And yeah, self analysis, brother. What do you feel that what's one thing that you feel like you could be doing more of or better at to get you to where you're going?
I think I'm doing amazing on my track. I do feel like one of my flaws I'm working on is just giving people more grace because my cutoff game is because it's just off because sometimes people do things and I have to realize that Antoine just you could go overcome that. That's not them. That's
Yeah,
something I have to work on. That's something on myself I have to work on. Giving people more grace because I'm 42 now. And when I see people doing things that don't make no sense, I'm like, they gotta go. They got something gotta take care of them.
Yeah.
So that's I have to work on that. That's something I have to work on.
I'm laughing, brother, because that's me all day. My wife be getting on me. She was like, man, you gotta give people some grace sometimes. I'll be like, man, listen,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
have
So that I have to work on. Yeah.
zero tolerance for some bull, for some conniving, for just any, you know?
But what I learned that the reason why I have to work on grace because I did the work on myself. Most people walk around as ticking time bombs. Not everybody did the work on themselves. They act like they did, but they haven't done the work on themselves.
Yeah,
So I have to learn that. I have to realize that, Antoine, when you go out there, you're like a 1% because you actually did the work yourself. You actually wanted better.
yeah,
Um, that's why I'm at. Because when you look at Bill Gates, Weinstein, Jeff Bezos, Bill Clinton, all those people that built millions dollars of brands, and they in jail because of they're not being disciplined. Bill Cosby not being disciplined.
yep,
R. Kelly wrote one of the best songs in the world, "I Believe I Can Fly." But he's in jail because he's untreated trauma.
yep,
Tory Lanez, Tory Lanez is in jail right now because untreated trauma. So those people that get all this money and access, they have all this money, but it's coming up. They untreated trauma inside, and they wind up losing everything. Stuff that we're trying to build and get there.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely, man. Boy, R. Kelly, man, that's a I just can't believe that, like just one of the greatest. The trauma wouldn't allow him
Yeah,
to be his greatest. You know what I'm saying?
Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey is a great actor. Had a great show on Netflix, House of Cards. The production is no longer because he want to be out here touching little kids.
Yeah.
Untreated trauma. So just because you got money and rich, you still gotta go home to that demon inside of you.
Yep. And
So
nothing
I
happened,
tell people,
did it? Nothing happened to him, huh?
this is
Nothing.
America.
Yo, he's not in jail.
I mean, they got a real show, but no, nothing really happened to him. But that's the difference in America.
Yeah.
But
Well,
this is why like hmm?
for what I was just gonna say, for what we know, nothing happened to him, but God always takes care of that. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. So like especially in this industry, it's a lot of demons. I thought the music industry has some demons. This industry have a lot of demons, and they come in different forms that you never believe. So that's why when you go into any business, any industry, know who you are.
yeah,
If you know who you are and you faithful with yourself, no one can change you. I see people in this industry 1 minute they this way, and because of the fame and the money, they switch up and lose their morals and souls.
yeah. And it seems like it's masked a little bit better in film too, because in the music industry, it's just out there
Yeah,
blatant.
yeah. And film is definitely mad. That's the scary part.
I know. And
That's
that's why
yeah,
everybody is so in awe and shock when it does come to light. It's like, what? We didn't see
yeah,
that. Yeah, because, it's almost, it's definitely a secret society. Definitely a secret
yeah.
society with that industry, man. It's just, but it's
I
Hollywood
remember
up,
I
so
remember my friend took me to a film event. He said, Antoine, come to this event, you get some investors for your film. They was taking Coke, but they was smoking a Newport. It was a Coke party. And they guy asked me, you want some? I said, no, I don't want this shit. But if I knew who I was, I would have indulged and got into it to be accepted.
yeah, just to be
But no, yeah. I said, not me. Y'all bunch of crackers in suits.
basically,
Yeah,
yeah. I just can't get with that, man. That is crazy.
yeah,
Wow. Well, brother, I appreciate your time, man. I really do appreciate your time, the insight and everything you got going on. The work that you're doing is wonderful, it's beautiful, inspiring, encouraging. Definitely want to keep in touch with you, man. Definitely want to keep in touch with you. We're
yeah,
gonna
man.
ride out. Go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, I appreciate having me on the show. This is great. And yeah, I look forward to working together.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna ride out to your director's reel. Give most people some insight on what you do, what it is that you do, all the great work, man. And we'll be looking out for new films, all that. Follow you on Instagram, hit you in the DM. We'll talk once we get off air too. Definitely want to connect. So yeah, so everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. You know where I am at every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here kicking it with someone like Antoine Allen, y'all. Make sure you check out Driving Force on Tubi. Make sure you check out Lola on Tubi. Make sure you check out Lola 2 on All Black if you have All Black. I do believe it is. You said it's on Amazon as well, correct?
Amazon Prime.
Yes. Make sure you check out his films. Wonderful work, y'all. You will not be disappointed. All right. Thank y'all. Peace and love. We're going to ride out to Antoine's Director's Reel. And we're out of here. Until next time, y'all. Peace and love, man. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Antoine.
Peace, man.